Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Afternoon Tune. I am your host, Josh, and with me is my two co-hosts.
It's your boy, Chase.
And it's your boy, Nick.
Our first film up is Vampires vs. the Bronx. Now, we all have seen the film, and so it's a story of a group of young friends from the Bronx who fight to save their neighborhood from gentrification, which comes in the form of not only white people, but also in the form of white vampires too. So, very, very touching on the evil natures of gentrification in basically a nice representative form. In the film, I think, which is directed by Osmani Rodriguez, who's mainly directed episodes of television, directed like episodes of Saturday Night Live, AP Bio. He's got like usually a long history of directing comedy episodes of television, things of that nature. And at the beginning of this movie, you see Zoe Saldana, which I was kind of thrown off because I don't think she's immediately listed in the cast. Like I tried to look, I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's Zoe Saldana. I'm pretty sure. And I kept kind of looking. I'm like, yeah. And then I finally looked and saw her name in the casting credits. That's Zoe Saldana. And I was kind of wondering what she was doing in the movie, because this is kind of there's really no real recognizable names all that much in this film. So I was kind of like, is she like maybe produced this? Is she like a friend of the producer? I was trying to think of like how, like what got her involvement in this. Because, yeah. No.
Well, she's in there. I'm not gonna say much.
Let's just say she doesn't stick around for long.
Yeah. So I would say that this movie has got really good energy about it, especially from the main group of kids. Jaden Michael, who plays the main lead, Miguel Martinez, who they call him Little Mayor. What he's trying to do throughout the film is save this little bodega. Which is owned by Mero, who's part of the duo Desus and Mero. They do a lot of stuff. They do their own show on Showtime called Desus and Mero. A very funny show. I don't know if any of you guys have ever checked that out before.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, they're funny dudes.
Yeah, they're pretty funny dudes. You have Gerald Jones III, who plays Bobby Carter. You have Gregory Diaz the fourth, who plays Luis Acosta. So that rounds out the main group of boys that you mainly follow. You also have, additions to the cast, like Method Man, who plays like a pastor in this. He gets a little bit of screen time. He comes in sparingly throughout the film. You also have Shea Wiggum, who people might remember. He was in Boardwalk Empire as Nucky Thompson's brother, Steve Buscemi's brother in that. He's also pretty good in this. And so it's not really a whole lot of big names in this. Pretty small cast. What I like about it also is they touch on a lot of the things of the real diversity in the neighborhood of the Bronx. And it did a thing with a particular character. There's a character in this that goes around like with her phone on like one of those selfie sticks that basically, she's kind of almost like tells you the events of the film, like the semi-narrator of the film, and she's always like on IG Live. And it kind of reminded me a little bit of kind of like Do the Right Thing, in a sense of how like you would always cut to the scene where Samuel Jackson talks into the when he's talking on the radio, and he would update you kind of on the events going on in the neighborhood and things like that. So it kind of reminded me of like little things like that throughout it, which was kind of nice. You got a lot of also dark-skinned actresses and actors in this, which I do appreciate as well. Which was very, very much appreciated. You really got a lot of that, which was, I think, very good. And the overall charm of the film, comes, I think, mainly from, what you're going to get from the cast and the people involved in it. And, I think that's really where mostly you're going to get it from. Because the vampire stuff, it's not it's not trying to be, some horror vampire epic here. A lot of the stuff they do is a lot of campy, traditional, vampire rules, vampire tropes. So you're not going to get that element from that. It's a way to...
Yeah, nothing in this. This definitely feels closer to like a more campy version of The Lost Boys.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, yeah, pretty much is that feel. Also, another feel I kind of got from it was like Attack the Block. Like, it's a very, I think, lesser version of that. If nobody's ever seen it, it's a movie with John Boyega where aliens come invade and they protect their block, which I think that also kind of can draw similarities here, but I don't think it is as good. And I'll go into why. Just to let you guys get some moment, what were your general feelings of it right there?
My general feeling was just basically, it's just a fun movie. It's hard for me to, because I think the movie knows what it is. It's not really. Yes, it does have some metaphors that are kind of pseudo deep, but it's not trying to do more than its initial premise. It sticks to it. The vampires are very obviously a metaphor for gentrification. Right. And I think it sticks to it, and it kind of kills that premise, and it knocks out the park with that Sammy Sosa bat. I like the chemistry of the boys. I like the chemistry with the bodega owner. I'm gonna just call him Merrill because I can't remember his name in the movie. I think it was like Tony, right?
Yeah, it was Tony.
Yeah. Okay. But I basically enjoyed the movie for its sense of humor. And it's just nice to see kind of just people of color in a positive light and trying to protect their community. That's all. It's nothing too deep. It's just fun.
Okay. Nick?
Yeah, I agree with you, Chase. This is a movie that knows exactly what it is. This is just being a very light, very campy vampires in the hood movie. But this is trying to do a lot of allegory for gentrification and showing the evils of that. However, I don't think any ideas that it doesn't really flesh them out as much as I would have liked in something like this.
Yeah. In the terms of how they take it, the main premise of like these people, these vampires are coming, buying up all these properties and killing the people who own these properties. And it's kind of taking it for what it's like, having these vampires be the ones who are white, who are coming in and buying up all these neighborhoods. It represents like the gentrification is what it is. It's kind of, maybe the director is saying it's just pure evil, right? Like these things of what's happening, it's just pure evil. It's pushing these people out, and there's just no place for it. And also they also establish and say many times throughout the film that the reason why these vampires pick the Bronx is because nobody cares about what happens to people in the Bronx. You know what I mean? Like like it's just an area in this city that nobody cares about. So if somebody goes missing, nobody's really gonna look that hard for him. Which goes into you hear tons of stories about police reportings, missing black children, black girls, black men, all the time. There just isn't that much attention devoted to those cases, maybe in the media the way it is, maybe to someone white going missing, or resources to find those people. So they say that multiple times throughout the film. A little on the nose for my take. They don't really let you see, you don't see anything with the police. Like there's actually police characters in here that come in for like one scene. Could have did something with them. Could have like let you kind of for them to show how much there's lack of attention in that neighborhood. And to get into some of the negatives here, I think a lot of people in this movie have good energy. Like the boys have really good energy together. I don't think they're the best actors. No, I don't. I
They
don't really
are
think
not,
they're all
no.
that good. But they work well together. But I think that yeah. I mean, they're really not the best ones.
Yeah, I think Netflix is gonna have a hard time after the Stranger Things kids get through puberty.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. So I mean, I think they still could have a future. You know what I mean? It could always get better. It's, maybe the first thing they're ever in. I mean, one of these kids could maybe be Miles Morales. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I kind of got a lot of that vibes from the Miguel kid. Like,
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got a lot of those vibes.
I could kind of see it.
Yeah,
I think Miguel himself was probably the strongest out of the three. I think he has the highest potential.
He was definitely the one that was bringing the most energy.
We'll see.
You didn't have any love for Puerto Rican Harry Potter?
I thought a couple of his scenes were funny. I think in the context of this film, he works. I don't know if I'd say he's like a great actor.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. Everything works, but none of them are really great actors.
Another thing is a lot of the storylines that the kids have. For instance, like there's the one kid, Bobby, who he's got a single mother. All of them actually have single mothers, actually, except the Puerto Rican Harry Potter kid. He's got a grandmother, right? That was his grandmother. That was.
It's his abuela.
Okay, that was his grandmother. Yeah, so except he's got a grandmother who's taking care of him. They all got, in kind of single family households. And Bobby Carter, he's being drawn in by the life of the streets, you know what I mean? Like these gang member characters are trying to get him in. I thought that was really cliche. I thought that didn't really work out so well. His mother, she's trying to take money from the people that are buying up all this property because she wants to get away. She wants to get out of the life that she doesn't want him to end up like the father dead, So I thought that was really kind of, I thought that was clumsy. I thought that was lazy. I thought that was a little cliche and not done in a way that felt all that natural or organic. What did you guys think about that?
I feel like this movie, it's worth, the writing process where you have a whole bunch of ideas, and as you do your edits and you knock out drafts, you slowly start to take away little bits and pieces of it.
Yeah.
This feels like it's just shooting off of the first draft. So everything that's going on, there's not enough time to develop any of it. So like you were saying with the cops, there's nothing with them. With the gang storyline, that kind of doesn't really have any development. It just kind of happens and it ends.
Yeah, everything kind of falls short. I think this really could have been like, kind of maybe if you leaned in more to the campy element of it, maybe that would have worked out a little bit better. If you kind of leaned into that element, that would have maybe worked out for you.
I feel like if with something like this, you have to go either really campy or really scary. You can't just be in the middle, because if you try to do everything, you're just gonna fail at everything.
Yeah, it just kind of floats in the middle. No real distinctive kind of, I don't think, tone or style that really stands out that much that really you would be all that intrigued or excited to see. I'm gonna get into my closing thoughts of this film. I think it's, perfectly just okay. I mean, it's something that maybe you would have a good time. Just, it's perfect to just sit at home. It's on a streaming service, it's on Netflix. Sit at home and just maybe watch and check out. It's only an hour and 26 minutes, so this is incredibly short. It's only an hour and 26 minutes. And maybe you can get a little decent enjoyment out of it. Some of the vampire effects, I will say, actually looks kind of good. I actually like the way the vampires, they have them portrayed and have them look in this. It reminded me a lot of what Joss Whedon used to do with his vampires, like in Angel and Buffy. Like the way they would like change their face like that, like they would morph their faces. That reminded me a lot of that, which I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty nice. The name of the moving company that comes and like starts buying up all this property is like a reference to the director of Nosferatu. F.W. Norton. It's like a reference to the director of that film, which was probably a nice homage to that. So, overall, I think you have, a cast that does have good energy, does have good chemistry, but overall, I think it's not really all that good. You got a nice campy kind of title and feel to the movie. Don't think they really executed all that well. And I would say it is maybe a strong 5 to a light 6. Chase, what did you get?
Yeah, it's not the strongest movie by any means. Some of their subplots kind of get resolved relatively poorly. Kind of with the whole Gain situation, I felt like that was kind of a little bit too conveniently resolved. Yeah, it's just a very okay, fun movie. I'd put it on while I'm doing something else. It's one of those movies. You see it, you catch it on TV at the right time while you're like playing video games or cleaning around the house. It's one of those movies. You might get a couple chuckles here and there, but it's nothing too deep. It's nothing too profound. It's just a light 5.
Light 5. Nick, what you get?
I think the cast of this movie, they all have really great chemistry. It's a very fun, very light movie to watch. But this doesn't really commit to any of its story beats. This is not scary enough to be a horror movie, and it's also not funny enough to be a comedy. I'm struggling to think of a time I laughed during this movie. It was really dry for me.
Not even with any of Mero's scenes when he was just chilling with the boys.
Not really. Not really. Just
Bro, you're just straight facing this whole movie.
a little bit. But this is light. It's fun. It's fine. There's nothing in this that made me angry, unlike certain movies directed by Charlie Kaufman. But this is just very mediocre. It's a quick watch, thankfully. It's only an hour 20. So if you put it on and you end up watching it, you won't be mad. This is definitely 4 out of 10 for me.
Wow, I thought you were gonna give it a 3 or something the way you were talking.
To all you people out there listening to this, I hope you had a good time listening to this. You know what to do. You know what to do. Check us out. All the social medias. Twitter, Afternoon Tune, Facebook, The Afternoon Tune. If you want to check it, give us an email. Ask a question. theafternoontune@gmail.com. Chase, where they can find you?
You can find me at Mr. Chase Mack. That's spelled Mr. M.R. Chase, CHAYSE, and then Mac, like Bernie Mac, MAC. At Instagram and Twitter. How about you, Nick?
I think you already plugged my Instagram and my Twitter at Night and Day Nick. Yeah. Thanks a lot, everybody. Thanks for listening.
All right. Yeah, and people, good people, always good to comment. Let us know what we did right. Let us know what we did wrong. Constructive criticism. Always subscribe, like, show that support, help us build us up, share us. You already know all that good stuff to do. And to all you people listening to this, I hope you all stay tuned.